Okay, let's see if this works. So I had an urge to pull apart a book and do something to it. So this is the book I chose, and I took out more than half the pages, half the pages. So I did it very badly. I made a big mess at the front. I left each stitched page, and I left each of the glued page between the signatures. Anyway, it's a lot thinner than it used to be, but I really made a big mess of the front, so I'm glad I didn't film it. I made such a mess. I ripped all of this. I ruined the first few pages. I lost the nice front page, and I've put this very grungy tape over it to hold it together. And now I want to start working in it. But Q is going to do one too, and she's going to she's going to show you how to do it properly.
Hello. Penel and I have decided to do a Bryomax book each, a kind of altered book, and we'd like to see what kind of crazy directions we both go in, because we tend to do things quite differently. So I'm just going to gut mine, just leaving myself some pages to do altered stuff on. So let's have a look. I want to leave these pages, so I'm going to find my first sewn in part of the signature. So I want to leave these pages because I want the structural integrity of the book to, stay in place. So we're not going to pull those ones out. However, I will do the one either side of that. So if you just gently tear that out, and then when you go to the other side of the stitching, that corresponding page should just gently pull out like that. If you get any little bits stuck, you can just get them out with, tweezers or anything like that. That's all I'm going to pull out of that first signature, because then we've sort of got this end page, which I'd like to stay like that. When it comes to the next one, I think I have a couple more pages leeway either side of the sewn in part. Let's just find it. Oh. Okay. So this is where I'm probably still going to do the same thing and just pull out the one either side. I may pull out another one from each signature later on. I just don't know how chunky I'm going to be making the pages. So let's just go this one. So that's my sewn in part, which I'm leaving. And then the page either side of that, I'm going to gently tear out. Oh, this one doesn't want to do it as nicely. So, and then again, if you just turn back, so that's my sewn, turn back to the other side, give it a little wiggle, and it should just pop itself out, which might. So that's when you can just get a little pair of tweezers and just kind of, if you can't wiggle it out with your fingers, you can just use tweezers to pop that out. So you've got your sewn in part, which we're leaving, and then either side of that you've got two pages which could pull out nicely, and then the third one, of course, is the one that attaches to the start of the next signature. And so again, either side of that you'll have two pages that you could pull out before you reach your next sewn in part. This is quite a thick book, so I think I probably will, maybe not on every signature, but on some of them I will pull out that second page. So if that is my sewn in one, and I just pulled out one from each side, and I'm just going to pull out the next one from each side as well. So that's that. other side of my sewn in, and we'll just give that guy a little wiggle, see if he'll pull out nicely. She might not. Oh, there we go. Beautiful. Now, again, a couple of little bits there, which you can just kind of either, get out with your fingers or your tweezers if they're a bit awkward. Sometimes one side is much easier than the other. So if you're struggling to get those little itty bits out, just try the other side of that. All right, and we'll just do one more on camera, and then I'm going to go through and do the whole book. So there's my sewn in signature, with a very nice middle page. So I'm going to go either side of that. And again, I think I'm going to do two. I'll probably maybe do two, and then on the next one I'll just do one either side, and then I might do two. It just sort of depends how thick I end up doing pages. Of course, you can always take more out later. If you only do one either side of the sewn signature and then work on like your middle pages or your end pages that you know are going to be staying in there. And then if your book's getting too chunky, you've still got the option of pulling out that kind of side page. So, if that makes sense. That's going to be a little bit fiddly. Let's just see if you'll pull out. No, doesn't want to. Might be the other side. Some pages will tear out easier than others. This is going to come apart in a little itty bit, so I might go through at the end and pull these, because by then I will have loosened the whole book up a little. Now, the extra pages that you're pulling out, I'm probably going to hang on to these because I may want to use some of the images, which are quite sweet, as like little pockets or extra things to add back into the book and kind of keep it all with its original. Some might just get turned into glue pages. It really just depends on what I end up doing, which at the moment, just starting by taking out the pages. So let's just finish this off. Sewn signature. Kind of like that image, so I might actually leave that one and pull out this one, with the option, of course, of getting rid of that one later if I need the space. So that would be that little corresponding page. If you're ever not sure, you can just kind of look up and you can see which one you've torn, and then that should just pop out nicely. So I'm only going to do one from that signature, but then we'll go to the next one. So there's my sewn in page. Oh, someone left their bookmark in there a little bit too long. It must have been metal that's gone rusty. All right, this is just text. Pop that out. Go to the other side of my sewn in signature. Pop that one out. So I'm just going to do one page for the next few, and then I'll have a look at how chunky the book's looking and whether I need to pull more out. So, but yes, as long as you're leaving in the sewn one and then the one that adjoins the next signature, because most books have that little bit of, they're kind of like a little line of glue attaching them. So they've just become a bit tricky to pull out. So they're probably the best ones to leave with the sewn, and then your book all stays intact and you can just add to it as you like. So there's my sewn in one. So we're going to pull out Mr. Toad's Adventure. Whoop. Other side of the sewn in. Pop him out as well. See, that's now the book's loosened up a little. That's just sort of lifting out. So then I've got the next guy somewhere sewn in. Pull out this one. We're going to pull out this one. So this might actually be another signature that I pull two out of. But leaving that sewn in. And beautiful. So already should be able to see, oh, there's still quite a lot of pages in here. So this is where I might go through and pull out that second page from some of those signatures where I only pulled out one. Because even once I've only got 2 more signatures to pull stuff out of, and that's still looking quite fat. And of course, doing it as an altered book means it's going to get pretty chunky, so I'm probably going to need that room. I'll just get rid of some of these little fluffy bits. Sewn in one. Now, when you come to the end and the start of the book, just be careful because sometimes there is less pages. So when I turn this over, that's actually my end page and that's my sewn in page. So I'm not going to rip any out from that. I might have already torn one out, but so that's all going to stay. That's all going to stay. I feel like there was one more that I couldn't find. There we go. That's that guy. Yes. All right. I'll tear this one out. Tear it out, which is kind of satisfying. Ugh. When they come out nicely, it is anyway. Okay, cut out those little bits. And tear out 2 from that one as well. That's right. We'll go through and clean up all that. Let's just have a look. Yeah, so that's making it more gappy. So definitely, now that the book's a bit looser, all these little bits should just pop out as well. You can get that all cleaned up and ready to start doing our altered books. And I guess we'll see where we go. It's Penel and I like a lot of the same things, but I like going the very weird, strange and poisonous way with things. And Penel much prefers the kind of, nature and but also fantasy and weird. But yeah, we go very different paths with our journals. So this will be an interesting experiment, starting kind of from the same place and seeing where it ends up. Yeah, just how different we can go. Alrighty. So that's all I'm doing. I'll just go through and tidy all those guys up. But at the end, you should be left with your book still intact, all your kind of sewn in and glued pages still together. But then you've got plenty of room to kind of fill this up with loveliness. Okay, bye.